Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Money Cure. I'm your host, Sean Robert Grant. Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. It is Saturday, February 29th, 2020, the last day in the second month of the year. Hope this has been a fruitful month for you up until this point in time, okay? I'm just watching my cat just go absolutely nuts outside. The simple things in life, right? So, anywho, I really do hope that you are living your most prosperous, happy, fulfilling, successful life filled with all the money that you need this point into the year. And I really, want to ensure that not only with this podcast, but all the ones that I'm doing right now, that it continues to allow people to move towards a place of just freedom, and not just financial freedom, as you know, that's what this podcast is mostly about. But I'm talking about complete freedom. And so just freedom in every area. And that kind of ties into the message that we're going to talk about today. And it's really a special one, because for me, when I teach this stuff, and I say this stuff, but when I teach these principles that I'm so passionate and excited about all the time, it really helps me to learn. And the more I learn, the more I can teach in an even better capacity, right? So for me, it's all about creating constant shifts as I progress to be better, to bring you better information, right? So with that being said, one thing I wanted to tell you before I get into this, and this is not really coinciding with money as much as it is coinciding with doing what you desire to do on a regular, everyday basis, and just how important that is to your money accumulation, how important that is to your ability to be opened to the idea of prospering, not just financially, but in every way, right? Experiencing that growth that brings complete and utter joy. That's what it comes down to. And I just want to encourage you that you don't need anybody to give you any permission. You don't need anybody to say that, well, you don't have this or you don't have that. You don't need anybody to say that this is the right time. My entire life has been all about paying attention to what my inner guidance has told me and following through with it. And, you know, people have a heck of a habit of telling you what you can and cannot do based on their limitations, right? Based on their limitations. Limitations. So if somebody comes along and they're not constructive, or they're not really being compassionate in a way that's going to encourage you, you know, it's really important for you to think twice before you just take what they have to say to heart. I had to learn that. And as an entrepreneur, you learn that a lot because, it's like my favorite quote that I've heard recently. I forgot who I heard it from, but it's like, you never take criticism from somebody you would not take advice from, right? If you would take advice from somebody and you respect that person, and you feel like they are well-versed in what it is that you're doing. And that's the key. See, because a lot of people say stuff and they're not well-versed in it. If they're well-versed, if they respect you, and more importantly, if they're spiritually enlightened enough to say it in a way that doesn't make you feel like you want to go blow your brains out or jump off a bridge. Because, I mean, it's funny to think of, but it actually happens. There are people that don't know how to be constructively and lovingly critical over others, because I think That's what you need to do, right? Unless you're dealing with somebody who's really hard-headed, you really have to come to human beings with tender arms and not abuse them in any way, right? And I've been a leader pretty much all my life in so many different positions, and I've always found that works for me and that works for the people that I'm leading, okay? So all I'm saying is follow your dreams, guys. Follow your dreams at all costs. Don't even worry about anything. Just stay focused on what your heart tells you, and I promise you, you will do so fantastically well in whatever it is that your heart is calling to. So let's get into it. Woof, that took about 6 minutes. Getting into it today, the real reason you're here is how to create unlimited money for yourself. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you something that you may not get right away. A lot of you may receive it right away, but some of you may not receive it right away. And some of you will. So before I get into it, I just want you to know, open your mind, okay? Open your mind to the idea of what it is that I'm about to say to you, okay? So thinking about the concept of money, give you a little bit of background. Money vibrates at the same level as love, okay? It vibrates at the same level as love, as vibration. Not vibration, but as love, as God, source, and there's one other thing, as divine. I think they all vibrate. They have the vibrational number of 9. And how do I know this? I know this through numerology and going through the process. And, if you want me to explain it one day, send me an email. I'll explain to you how it works. I'll even paint out a picture for you. But just all you need to know now is that all those, money, love, source, God, actually, no, not God. Let's just say money, love, source. And there's a few others I have written down, but we're just going to stick with money, love, and source. Vibrate at the same energetic energy of 9. Okay? That's the number that is associated with their vibration. Right? So, in realizing that, okay, in realizing that is the case, what does that tell you? That tells you that your ability to connect to source creates the same energy that carries money. Okay? Your ability to embody source, your ability to embody love, right? That to me is so absolutely amazing, because it makes sense now that when we follow what we love to do, we elevate to a whole new level of prosperity, right? Because love and money have the same energy, right? Love and money have the same energy. Now, I'm going to get to something interesting about the word God that I find to be absolutely just terrific at how it kind of comes in here in a way that really guarantees that we're all meant to prosper and to succeed in a way that is just beyond our wildest imagination. But keep that in mind. Once again, love, money, source all vibrate at the same energy. So by just knowing that, you have to look into your life and you have to say, okay, where am I vibrating the most love in my life? And then, so the very first thing you do is you look and you see that. Could be your relationship, could be your friendships, could be your social circle, could be your creativity time, could be your meditation time. Wherever there is love and divine love and strong, unconditional love, see where that is, right? See where that is, and what you're going to do is just take a moment to focus on it and see what that feels like, okay? You want to see what that feels like. What does that love feel like? And here's the thing. If there ain't no money showing up, that means that it ain't real love. I know that's hard to say. But when you're with the right person, trust me, money will show up. If you're with the wrong person, money will not show up. And if it does show up, it is going to be volatile. It's going to be a volatile situation on your hands. Okay? It's going to be a volatile situation on your hands. And so I really and truthfully want you to really figure out and to discover this truth. Just take some time with it. We don't have to rush through it. But really take some time to understand what that means. Right? Wherever love is present, wherever source is present, the energy of money is present as well. I did this example a while back, and I want to do it for you again. And let's just take, for instance, let's take love and money. Let's say love and money are a quarter. Right? And all of a sudden, you find a quarter on the ground, and let's say love is heads, money is tails. You pick up the quarter. Do you just pick up the love and leave the money down? No. You pick up both because they both carry the same energy. Okay? They both carry the same energy. So if you're having hang-ups about money, just turn it into love. I did this not too long ago. And I did it a while ago, but I really started diving into it. And would you know the mental shift that I did started to create so many different opportunities and resources that were just tied up for so long, all because I was separating the quarter. I would pick up the quarter like, nope, I just want the heads. I don't want the tails. And mentally, if you believe that, that's what's going to come true in your existence. Jesus, the great way shower, the master of life, said, be it unto you as you believe. And this is what we do. We pick up the quarter and we want the heads but not the tails, or we want the tails but not the head, right? All that bullshit that says that money is the root of all evil, well, guess what? If you say that, you're saying love is the root of all evil. And if you're saying love is the root of all evil, I do not want to be around you. I don't know about anybody else, but I do not want to be around you. But you see, most people don't know this. This is why money gets such a bad name, because people are unaware. And I am making you aware today that love and money are of the same token, the same coin, right? They are of the same token, the same coin. And just so you know, nine is one of the primary universal numbers. Nikola Tesla spoke about 3, 6, and 9. And 9 represents unity. 9 was known as the universal number, and that's exactly what money in love is: universal currency, universal consciousness. So that's why it's represented by 9. Now, think on that. Take your time. Really understand that. And if you're having trouble with it, what I want you to do is switch out anything in your life that says money, switch it out for love. And it'll start to become clear and clear, right? So if you have to pay your rent with money or pay your mortgage with money, just turn around. I have to pay my mortgage with love. And see how much greater that feels. Because for me, when I made that shift, especially when I'm paying like to stay at the place that I'm at, I'm really paying with my love by saying thank you for allowing me to stay here at this wonderful place. And the most amazing thing is it transcends all these limits that we've been taught to think about money. And money is vibrating at the same level. And it's not the physical green stuff or the yen or the euro or the pound. It's the energy of it, which is even better. You know, I'm going to teach a class here soon. I'm going to talk about the vibrational net worth, which is actually going to be an episode on here soon. But your vibrational net worth is way much more important than your regular net worth, right? Because the vibrational net worth spans the universe. The net worth only spans basically what you have in your accounts and in your possession, right? So you always want a greater vibrational net worth, because then you can produce any amount of money that you desire. So in getting into vibrational net worth, the most important thing to understand, and here's where God comes in, because see, God vibrates at an 8. And the number 8 represents infinity, represents eternal, represents unlimited, represents prosperity, abundance, all these amazing things that sort of tie into being prosperous. That's what God carries as a vibrational number, right? So you take that, and then you dive into the metaphysical term of what it means to have so-called money, or to be prosperous, or to be unlimited, right? And what it means when you really understand that the law and the supply is at your beck and call is, it's an awareness of the consciousness of God within you. Okay, I'm going to say that 3 times because I want you to catch it. It's an awareness, the consciousness of God within you. An awareness of the consciousness of God within you. So if God is eternal, infinite, unlimited, prosperous, abundant, ever-present, owns it all, and that consciousness is in you, all you have to do is embody that concept. The Bible has a great scripture, whether you're religious or not, that really sums this up. And it says, all that the Father hath is mine. And that means that it doesn't mean that I own my neighbor's car. What it means is that the energy field that is connected to each and every human being, each and every space and particle and molecule out in the universe, I am connected to that. And by being connected to that, that means that my prosperity is just an intention away. My abundance is just a shift in my thoughts away, because energy is everywhere and it's in me and it's universal, right? So when you become aware of the consciousness of God, understanding that God is an infinite, eternal, unlimited being that can provide what we call metaphysically substance, that is right at your fingertips. All it comes down to is making the shift to understand that once you become aware of it and you know that it is your source and your supply, nothing else. It's not your job. It's not your relatives. It's not your Christmas cash gift or present. It's not, right? It is source. It is God. Goddess, if you want to bring the female aspect into it. That, the consciousness of it, is what determines how much money that comes into your life, right? That determines how much money comes into your life, and it's just that simple. Make yourself aware of the consciousness of God and just dwell on it. Something as simple as, I allow the unlimited consciousness of God to be made aware in me. I allow the unlimited consciousness of God to be made aware within me. All that the Father has is mine. And you just sit with it. And you sit with it to the degree of just allowing it to permeate throughout your being. And then it begins to merge with your own consciousness, and then you know what happens? The most amazing thing happens. You begin to see this working, not just in the area of money, but in every area of your life, because God is everything. God has no beginning, no end. It just is. It just is, which means your prosperity just is. Your ability to have unlimited money just is. You don't have to get anywhere. You don't have to move towards anything. It just is. Okay? It just is. And in realizing that it just is, that means that it's here for you now, awaiting your conscious recognition of it. It's easy. It's easy. Anywhere you see that you're struggling in your life, it's because you refuse to let the consciousness of God into that area. Because once you do, I'm telling you, without question, and I will put this on everything, when you allow yourself to understand the conscious recognition of God within you, and you make that available in every area of your life, it's all going to transform and shift into something truly amazing. And I believe that with every fiber of my being. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. It has been a pleasure. This has been one of my favorite episodes because it's really important for people to know that. And, just like I put in the description, it's not about breaking your back or working as a slave for somebody else, but realizing that when you tap into a consciousness, money by universal law will show up. It just will. It doesn't take for you to struggle and strain and fight and force. No, the divine only works through ease, and it wants to work through ease through you, right? And it does that by showing you, by giving you information and wisdom to help you to understand that you don't have to kill yourself to enjoy your life. You just have to pay the price. And that price, as Neville Goddard said, is realizing that God is all that there is, and his consciousness has within it all that you could ever need and desire. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It is a pleasure. Happy Saturday. We will talk soon. Take care. Sending you lots of good money vibrations.